I think I am a goddamn sore loser. Since we talk about sore losers, I think I am.
Yeah. I agree with that.
You go in on your own players. I'll tell you that much, man. You LA till you die, man. But it's important. We got kids out here, and we teach our kids about winning in life. You always want to encourage them. But we also know that in their lives, there's going to be a lot of L's, and you got to set them up for that. So just how do you do that, Donnie, when you're talking to your kids about knowing that they're going to lose, but they're not losers?
Well, I tell my kids is just show grace and be a good loser. You know what I mean? But like I said, the guys were saying earlier, like as when they was playing, like they go out there and they don't want to feel have that feeling no more. They go out there and kick ass the next time. I tell my son, yo, go out there and do what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want bust him in his mouth. You know what I mean? If you don't want to feel that feeling no more. So I teach my kids, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, shake hands, but come off the team, come off the field and work harder next time. That's what I teach them.
I think my son got it at 4 years old. He played a game, his first basketball game 2 days ago. He looked up at the scoreboard and he was mad the whole day. And I liked it. I was like, yes, we want to win. That's what it's about, winning. Like, he looked at the scoreboard and he was like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to dribble. And he's 4 years old.
Wow.
I'm going to go dribble even harder than I did today. And that really made me a proud dad at that moment. Like, I knew what I was doing,
Yeah, well, it's hard, man, nowadays because this is the era of participation trophies.
Yes.
It's just so hard because me being a little league coach basketball, football, little league teams, it took me a minute as a coach to get accustomed to this participation. So I had to teach my kids that, hey, just because this era says that everybody gets a trophy for participating, you don't get a trophy for losing. You go home and you decide, was it something you could have done better? If there was something you could do better, then you can't talk to me about losing. You know what I'm saying? We have no conversation. So if you feel you played a perfect game, then you can talk to me. You know what I'm saying? If not, you should be out there working. That's all you should be concerned with is what you can do better. But like I said, now that everybody gets these participation trophies, man, people walk off the field, I don't even see it in them anymore. Like when we played and Donny, when you played, we played for a reason. It was like, if you weren't a winner, like say for instance, on my team in high school, my first year, we was like 3-8 or some bullshit. We wasn't getting no girls. Girls wasn't talking to us. You wouldn't get nothing. But when we started winning, everything changed. And it ain't like that nowadays. All you got to do is say you play.
Y'all bring back memories.
These kids don't get cut no more. You should be able to get cut. When I was growing up, you got cut if you wasn't. That made you want to come back and work harder.
You didn't get rewarded for losing. You definitely didn't get rewarded for losing. A lot of these kids do it now. But I'm gonna blame some of y'all parents too. I'm gonna tell you why. Because y'all don't hold your kids accountable for shit these days. Seriously.
That's true.
No, not you, Donnie. A lot of them do. I'm saying, like if they get a bad grade, it's the teacher's fault. You know what I'm saying? If they're on the football field, the coach ain't coaching them right or whatnot. That's teaching them not how to accept certain setbacks in life because you're always not putting the blame on them where it should be sometimes. You're blaming everybody else around them for not setting them up, and that's not fair.
Mike, that was the hardest thing I had to do. My oldest son, talented as all get out, man, and it came to that conclusion. He went to high school, got a D1 scholarship, got another D1 scholarship, got a junior college scholarship, and the whole time it was the coach to coach. And I found, I had to look and say, what would I tell myself? And I would have had to tell myself, the common denominator of this shit is you. From that point, I always told my kids, if you are the common denominator, then you need to check yourself.
That's right.
Because people cannot be wrong.
Yeah, and the parents need to stop coddling their kids. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of parents coddle the kids. I got some child mother that coddle the kid. You get what I'm saying? And then when something happened, they blame it on the daddy. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, we can't coddle the kids. We got to teach them life experiences because the world is messed up out there. When they go into that world, it ain't fair. So we got to teach them at home, like, hey, peep this out. When I'm gonna teach you the right way, because when you get out there, yo, it's doggy dog world.
Yeah, and we all heard growing up. I know you guys heard. My mom used to always say, "Hard head make a soft ass."
Yeah.
And my mom used to say, "Look, when your head that hard, you're gonna land on your ass enough. It's gonna be soft." And I used to, the hardest thing to do, dog, is to allow your kids to fall on that ass, because that's where, like I said, my greatest lessons were all taught from me losing or failing.
Absolutely.
If you don't allow your kids to do that, they would never grow. You would never see growth. They will always stay on the same curve.
So let me take it back to. Go ahead, Darren.
I was going to say, this right here is why I can't be a little league, high school, or a college coach.
Too emotional. I'll be out there.
Yeah, see, even with my own son, like I whoop his ass at Uno, and before we even get to playing, he be like, "Oh, you finna win again?" I'm like, "Hey, stop all that shit."
Stop saying that.
Play the game.
Play the game.
Your ass though, but play the game though. You know what I'm saying? Let it play out.
I'm from the old school to where we got our ass whooped in the state championship my junior year, and my homeboy confronted everybody. He said, "Man, we got our ass whooped," and we all just bust out laughing because we knew that next year we weren't finna let nothing. After how we got our ass whooped, we not let nothing defeat us. And that, like Ray said, that defeat changed our mindset. We threw it under the bus. Everybody came back stronger, and was the number 13 rated team in the nation. And we blew everybody out through state championships, through the playoffs, undefeated, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Because we understood that, that's water under the bridge, and these kids need to fail to find that out, to dig deep. Like you gotta, in order to be hard though, you gotta go through something, man. A lot of these cats, they act like they're hard, but their parents catered them through their NFL careers. They weren't like me growing up. Hey, I got myself ready for high school. I was walking. If I couldn't get no ride on the bus, I would walk into high school. I ain't have too much pride. If I couldn't get to practice on time, I'll walk to that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So it's the mentality of today's generation. Like I knew that if I wanted something out of something, I'm gonna go fucking get it. And I instill that in my kids. If you want something out of life, you go and get it. You go and get it.
The hardest thing to do though, Jeremy, man, is I know for me as a player, coach, and parent, the hardest thing for me to do, especially early, was to separate myself.
Yep.
Because when I was watching some of these coaches, man, some of these coaches really suck.
And
it's just hard, at that point, Mike, that's when it's hard for you to separate yourself and tell your kids it's your fault when you know these motherfucking coaches are horrible.
Yeah. Horrible.
That's the toughest part right there.
Horrible.
You know what I'm saying? What do you say or what do you do? That was the toughest part for me, was to hold my son accountable or to hold the team accountable. But I'm like, man, that coach really blew the game, but you have to somehow do it. That's the hardest thing to do.
That's right.
All right.
That is
hard. I got to take
my
final break. I'm going to come back. We're going to end it up. We're going to take one of the headlines. I want to talk to y'all about this guy who didn't give up a lot when it came to try and get a woman, but it cost him his job. He was not a sore loser.
No, that's a dummy.
We'll talk about that.
What Fred Surfer said, that's a dummy. See.
Ray Kroc, Darren Bache, Jeremy Mincy hanging out with us, chopping up with Mike and Donny. Mike here, Donny here. Before we go, we got a little headline for y'all hear about the Mets. They fired the general manager, Jared Porter. It was revealed that he had sent a string of unsolicited, lewd text messages, including a dick pic to a woman 5 years ago. So he didn't give up. He wasn't a sore loser. He refused to lose. So what happened is this man sent her 60 straight text messages. She didn't respond. And he's like, you know what? Let me send my dick now. Because you didn't respond.
But why is it coming out 5 years from now? Like, why is it just coming out?
Because he got a high profile job now. So,
but how did you not know, though? How did you not know? I mean, who was doing the background checks? That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you got to blame the motherfuckers who hired him for not doing their job.
It started when he was at the Cubs, though. It started when he was at the Cubs, Ray. So if the Cubs didn't tell on him, then he got hired by the Mets. So I think that the Cubs is really at fault because they should have called it. Because he was
co-signed him.
Yeah,
they co-signed him.
Right.
So who snitched?
We don't know.
I think the woman snitched.
The woman has
the woman.
Oh, she probably stole that story.
So it really, that's what I'm saying. It really, like, nobody would have ever known about this if she didn't get all but heard about whatever the situation was.
Well, yeah, he sent her 60 straight. I mean, that was being weird. I mean, you can't call him a sore loser because he ain't actually. I'm saying the situation that made her bring it out 5 years later. You know what I'm saying? Well, it probably was like, you know what? Hey, I got a new job now. I'm making more money now. I'm just like, so maybe he tried to call up after the fact.
If he did that, he need that shit to happen to his.
But what he is
who
after 5 years, who keeps text messages that damn long?
Exactly. Yeah, my phone that was about to be my thing. Was why did she keep it that long?
And why her iCloud? How the hell her iCloud ain't expired?
Yeah, I don't like nobody to keep a text after 30 seconds. That means they a snitch.
I'm trying to tell you.
You better get that invisible. Hey Donny, you better get them text messages that disappear. You know, I had after that before I got married.
One thing you cannot do is send. You shouldn't be sending no text anyway that's going to incriminate you regardless. So I'm not doing that.
From no angle.
Y'all think Von Miller shit real?
Huh?
Y'all think Von Miller shit real?
Oh my God.
What you say, Darren? What you say?
You think it's real? I heard, I mean, not that I think it's true that she photoshopped some shit, but I don't think she did no shit like that. I mean,
man, hey, listen, I love Vaughn. Listen, y'all, that nigga crazy. Okay,
I know.
Hold on.
From DeSoto. Oh no, it might be real.
That nigga crazy, y'all.
Listen, so what did Vaughn do? What allegedly
So allegedly, Vaughn, played with the Denver Broncos, great linebacker. His girlfriend got pregnant. And so they had some text messages going back and forth, and he basically told her she needed to get an abortion, and she was
that nigga said, I pray that you lose the baby, bro.
Yeah, and things like that.
Yeah, he was talking angry.
Yeah, he was
angry, but you can't put that shit in writing, though.
No, you can't put that in writing, man.
So she put it out there.